Nelly Furtado is one of those artists that fully represents the multicultural Canada that we know and love. Canadian by way of Portugal, more precisely the Azores, where her parents lived before immigrating to Victoria. Her style is all over the map, high-flying pop. Folk music inspired by her Portuguese heritage. And all I can do is... And of course, big, banging, sexy club anthems. That one sold millions, and Nelly, being Nelly, followed it up with a Spanish language record. Along the way, she's become a mom, and she learned a lesson about international politics and showbiz when she accepted, then later donated, to charity, a private concert fee that she had received from the Gaddafi family. And now, Nelly is returning to her pop and club roots with a new record. It's called The Spirit Indestructible.
Please welcome Nelly Furtado! Nice to see you.
You too.
What's going on? What's new?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I'm happy to be here, though.
Yeah, it's really nice to have you here.
Yeah, finally.
Well, you've been busy. You've been putting out
we've been trying
albums.
to do this for several years. Hi. There's a ukulele in the audience.
Bring it up.
I used to play ukulele.
I know. We're gonna. Oh, here.
Keyword used to.
Thank you very much.
Was I supposed to spot that early in this? Used to play ukulele, but not now. See what I mean? Sorry, Mrs. West.
That was your music teacher?
Yes.
How man. Thank you for that, by the way. There you go. Thank you. It's been a long time.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
the idea of getting back into the rhythm, putting on an English language album, years and years. Is it a conscious decision to take a break?
Yeah, I mean, I take my time with things, and geez, I don't know, I just need time to kind of relax and live, and I write my songs, so it just, I don't know, sometimes my songs have always been my way of kind of understanding myself. Since I was a small child, I kind of write it down and then go, oh, that's what I'm going through.
Right. How important is that process then, to learn that stuff about you?
Well, who likes learning about themselves, really?
Well, it really depends on what you're learning.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, it's fun on one level, but then it's kind of intense on another. So I guess songs are the perfect outlet for all that discovery. Sometimes I leave the studio with a demo, like I'll just take a CD and I'll pop it in, and that alone, even if that song never makes it anywhere, right, it helps you out. Because you're like, oh, you get to listen to it, and it's a perfect manifestation of melancholy, because you've got the song, you've got the melodies, the chords, your lyrics. It's like, it's a living, breathing diary. So it's I guess it sounds kind of selfish, like I make these songs for myself and then put them out, but essentially, I like the connection part, you know? Right. I like the idea that, hey, I wrote it and it was mine, but it's not anymore because you've heard it.
Right.
Or you've heard it, you know?
And not only have they heard it, but they now have their own personal experience with it.
Exactly.
So it reflects something in their own life.
Yeah.
When I first got wind of you, you were driving across the continent, you and a guitar, and you were playing, and you were earning this the hard way.
Yeah.
Before that whirlwind, that explosion happened.
Yeah.
When you were in the middle, I mean, 12 million plus records on one album, but over 20 combined, when it hit, and you got a sense that, oh my God, my wildest dreams or whatever are coming true. What was that like for you in that maelstrom?
I think in the beginning of my career, I signed a record deal, and although I was only about 20 years old when I signed, I just turned 20, I put a clause in the record deal that said that if I wanted to go off and make my own Portuguese albums or Spanish language albums, I could do that on my own or with whatever label I wanted. So from an early age, I realized that there's a life beyond pop music. You know, there's jazz music, there's country, there's folk, there's, you know, world music, there's Latin music, and I always listened to all that music. Like the world we live in now, with everybody being able to listen to everything, has always been my world. That's the world I grew up in musically. So, so I'm just I'm up for anything, and whether it means I sell bucket loads or droplets, it's kind of about me growing and about learning something new.
You've been doing it for a long time. You also have this, you're at the leading edge of fashion, the cutting edge, back in her Portuguese album days, her early.
I thought you were about to show a horrid picture
very
of something.
Early. Look at this lovely girl. That's amazing.
Oh,
You were getting your grandma on early in that shot.
I was at Folk Fest in Victoria, BC, and I am singing with my ukulele that I haven't played lately. But anyway, I used to listen to these Portuguese folk songs. My parents are immigrants from Portugal, and they listen to these great, like, sort of pop, sort of immigrant sort of songs about their homeland. And I sang a song called, it was either Olá Portugal, hello Portugal, or it was Adeus São Miguel, goodbye São Miguel. It was one of those. And I listened to it on my tape recorder, and then I'd sort of transpose it onto my ukulele, and I'd perform them at Folk Fest.
You certainly got a handle on how to be Southern American and Central American as well. This impersonation
Oh, no.
brought a joy.
What next?
I do an okay Shakira impression.
Oh, gross.
Oh, come on, you have to do that. You have
What
to.
should I do? I haven't done it in a while. Underneath your clothes, there's an endless story. There's the man I chose. There's my territory. That's right.
That's amazing. Have you done that for her?
No. I need someone to censor me just in life. But anyway.
No, it's good. Actually, it's because of the stuff that you do that you got. This is the clip I really want to play here. This is a beautiful song, which has meaning beyond just a song. Watch this.
You're good. How do you do that?
So that is just Rooney is the school, right?
Yes.
Tell me about your connection to that school.
Where's the Kleenex? Anyway, so it's interesting because you're playing that clip, and just my new album, The Spirit Indestructible, Rooney was the first place that that I sang Spirit Indestructible at, just for them, a cappella. I just said, this song is you guys, you know, this is you, this is your, just something about this reminds me of you, and you know, and I think more than anything, my trips there and meeting these people just kind of really just inspired me about, you know, life again, really.
You donated a big chunk of money because you got caught up in that controversy over the Gaddafi thing. What did you learn from that experience?
I learned a lot of things. I think when it was happening, I kind of deep down knew that it would be something that would affect my life in the future. I really believe in fate, and I believe in destiny, and I believe we make choices for reasons. And it's like a snowball effect, I guess you can say. One thing leads to another, and geez, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's it right there. It's this idea of recognizing that something
Yeah.
else can take over. The
Yeah.
idea of giving back is important, and you obviously do it. What I find really interesting with artists who've been around for any length of time is when they start to look back at their other songs, and they change them. Do you change the lyrics on some of your songs when you sing them live now? I know the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I do.
The Beastie Boys wouldn't sing.
Sometimes.
Yeah, they wouldn't sing lyrics from their early albums.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was just reading something about how Salt and Pepper at one point too, like half the band didn't want to sing "Push It" because they thought it was too graphic.
Oh,
you
but
know?
it's such a good song.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good thing.
Yeah, and I like that too. And
Yeah.
I listened to "Push It," and I remember "Let's Talk About Sex" coming on the radio, and you know, the radio being turned down. And then, you know, I came out with "Promiscuous" on the Loose album, and at the time, I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about it in that way. And I was in Miami, and I was recording my album, and it was sort of a revolution of sorts for me, on different levels. And I put out the album. And then now, I'm not totally comfortable with the song, and I actually change it to "Mysterious," but nobody really notices because the syllables are the same.
Right.
So yeah, like again, it's that like, I don't know, just things change and.
Is that a mom thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the main difference when you become a mom is you don't write songs like trapped in your bedroom alone with your guitar for 24 hours without sleep.
Big Hoops is a
I
throwback.
like the challenge of that, though. I like the challenge of having to morph into different roles. I think that's fun, because I've always been kind of like a chameleon. So I wore red on the red couch.
Right, smart, smart. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see what you wear when I put on a camo couch, a camouflage couch.
That'd be cool.
You know, it's a real pleasure to see you. Congratulations on the record.
Thank you so much.
The Spirit Indestructible. She's got a tour. It's across Canada. Kicks off in January in Victoria. Her home, which is nice, January 18th. Got all the dates on our website, which is strava.com. Nelly, we'll be right back.